22nd November. As usual, I had gone for afternoon darshan. We had no idea what was going to happen. Something immense was going to happen. None of us had any idea. It was as usual afternoon darshan. I sat there, 4 to 5 we all sat there singing his name. And then all of a sudden Bhagavan got up and went inside. And then half an hour passed, 45 minutes passed, 1 hour passed. He was not coming out. It was very unusual, and I began to have an uneasy feeling in my stomach. I was telling that boy, Sashi, the gatekeeper, Sashi, will you go inside and see what is happening? Why is it Swami has not come out for so long? Amma, he will do anything, Amma. He's very unpredictable. Don't bother. I said, no, Sashi, we have to go see. Something is happening to me also. He said, no, Amma, he will be very angry if he finds any of us inside all of a sudden. And he may even ask us not to be here anymore. I said, I would take the risk. Okay, if you are not going, I asked everybody there and nobody was willing to go. Nobody was willing to risk. So I said, okay, even if he should ask me not to come ever again, I would take it. But I just can't sit here, wait. So I ran inside and true to my doubt, Bhagavan in the backyard, he was sprawled like this, with hands stretched and eyes closed. He was lying down as though he had fallen down. He had dizziness all of a sudden, and he had fallen down, and he probably was there like that for 40 minutes. And then I got the fright of my life, and then the hands were all very cold, and then I rubbed it vigorously until the warmth came, and then I spoke. I held my mouth near his ear and shouted, Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar, Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar, Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar, 3 times. And then slowly his eyes moved and he opened his eyes. He said, Chakkar Devki. Chakkar means dizziness. And then again he closed his eyes. I didn't know what to do. I had never been that close to him before. And here was all of a sudden a situation, and Swami was like this. So I ran out and called some people, and just at that time one of the attendants, Jayaraman, LIC Jayaraman came, and then some other people also came. So we lifted him from that place and put him on. There was something of an apology for bed. He had a mat spread up. And so we put him on that. And then we were sitting around him. I felt that he had to be taken either for the night, because it was getting to be 8 o'clock now, and somebody had to be with him because he had to spend the night. We couldn't leave him alone like that condition. And slowly he began to speak. He said, nothing, don't bother, you people, please go. But somehow something took over completely. I was not in possession of myself. I said, Bhagavan, we cannot leave you in this condition. Either you permit me to stay with you the whole night here, or you please come to Sudama just for a night or 2. His whole body was hot. He said, no, this Devki, if you stay here, people will throw stones. Even in that condition, he was saying, if you stay here with this beggar, people will throw stones at you, Devki. I said, no, all right, Bhagavan, then you please come. I will arrange for a taxi. Please come to Sudama just for 2 days, because there is nobody to attend. And then I begged and begged and begged. And finally he said, all right, this beggar would come. And then we called the taxi driver Ravi, and about 9 o'clock, when we came out, some of those people who laid, who bought this land. The then trustee and other people were seated there outside on the chariot mandap. And they were all thinking that Bhagavan was playing a leela. Bhagavan's body was very hot. He had dizziness. He had fallen down. It needed some medical attention. So immediately, I just couldn't stop to inform anybody. We took him straight to Sudama, and L.A.C. Jayaraman came with me. And then I spread a mat, and then he lay down there. And the whole night it was raging fever. And Jayaraman was with me, the both of us were sitting, and we didn't know what to do because Swami might not allow any doctor to attend. His body was Yogi's body. It is not an ordinary body. So I felt terrible. And then I was asking Jayaraman to go ring up to Dr. Radhakrishnan, one neurosurgeon who used to come, a devotee who used to come from Kerala. I said, Jayaraman, please go and ring up and tell him. He said, Amma, I will not risk it. Swami would get very angry. He would not allow any doctor to come and see him. Again, I had to make a decision. It was very important. It was emergency. I risked. I said, okay, if he should leave this house and ask me never to see him again, I will take it. But I cannot just see this fever going on in him. I have to do something. And then I ran outside. I went there to there was a shop with the phone in those days. So I went and rang up to the surgeon. Dr. Radhakrishnan said, Swami is in very bad condition, and will you please come immediately? He said, Amma, yes, I will come. And then after that I felt at peace. And then I ran back. In the meantime, there were so many people at the door asking to be let in to see Swami. What to do? It was an emergency situation, and I had to make decision after decision after decision very quickly, and I was not trained for it. Anyway, they just came, went inside, and then they left, all of them. I requested them to leave, and the doctor was going to come. So, of course, the doctor came late. And then Swami, and he gave some medicines and all that. And after that, doctor said he would be all right in a few days. It's viral infection. After 2 days, Swami got well. And then he said, today I'm leaving. Today, from morning he was declaring, I'm leaving for Sannadhi Street house. And then what happened? He went to the toilet. He would not take anybody with him to the toilet. He just went to the toilet. Again, half an hour, he was not coming out. And I could hear water running. The door was closed. He had latched it. Half an hour, and then 40 minutes he was not coming out, and the water was still running. I could hear the sound. And then I went and banged the door, knocked heavily. I said, called Bhagavan, please come out, Bhagavan. Then he said, Vare, I'm coming. And again, Bhagavan, please come. Vare Devki. And he was not coming out. Then I had a terrible fear. So, you see, there were 2 bathrooms. One bathroom we were using, all the ladies were using. There was another one which nobody used. And because he was Bhagavan, I took him to that, I asked him to go to that bathroom. Now, but luckily both the bathrooms were near each other. There was only one single wall, and the wall was not complete. There was space between the ceiling and the wall. It was a short wall. So I went into the other bathroom, and then there was this pipeline. So there was a bucket. So I put the bucket there. In those days I was not so heavy. So I climbed onto the bucket and then put my foot on the pipeline, and then with the help of the door, I climbed. It's all grace. I could not have done it myself. And then I got on to the wall. And from the wall I looked down. So Bhagavan had fallen down inside in the toilet itself, and the water was open, the water was running over him. So he was so wet, and the water was probably running over him for half an hour, because I've been hearing it. It's terrible, and I had to jump from there. I had to risk it again. There was no thinking at all, straight into action. So immediately I jumped, and of course it was a big thud, and luckily nothing happened to me, and then I held on to the piping and steadied myself, and then ran, and then I lifted him. I lifted him and made him sit. I closed the tap first so that the water would stop, and then I lifted him, opened the door, and there was this lady, Prabha, who came to stay with me, who offered to stay with me because I was living all alone. So then the two of us slowly brought him out, and I asked her, even before that, to put a chair, bring some dry dhoti and a shawl. So she had kept it ready, and then both of us lifted him and put him there in the chair, and then I removed all the wet clothes and put these clothes around him. And then I had already asked her to prepare some hot Horlicks. So she had kept that also ready. So immediately I put on the dry clothes and then gave him this hot Horlicks, and after that he felt better. Then we slowly brought him to the bed. And then we called Dr. Radhakrishnan again, who was luckily in Thiruvannamalai. So he came to attend immediately. He said, Amma, the fever has become worse. He needs medical care. And then Swami was saying, no, this beggar has to go to Sannadhi Street. Then he begged, and all of us begged, Swami, please stay back. As soon as you get well, you can go back to Sannadhi Street house. And so the doctor came, and the doctor stayed with us for 4 days, 5 days, and he had a nurse also to attend, and all the because they had come with the van with all the medical equipments. It was all November 24th, 25th, 26th. December 1st was his birthday. And we had already bought the ashram land, and so people had gathered. They began to gather there. They all expected a big celebration on the ashram grounds. And here Swami was laid down with this viral fever, unable to open his eyes also. And then slowly, 28th, 29th, 30th, he was better. And then it was very cold outside, so I had to carry. If you see those photographs, you would see the ears well covered with a muffler. On December 1st, he could attend. He came, and then doctor said, if the devotees want Swami to continue in the body, they must allow him to stay on in Sudama. He should not go back to Sannadhi Street house where there is nobody to attend to him. And that place is very bad. There is no air, there is no light there, and there is no one to attend. So I request Swami to stay on in Sudama until he becomes completely well. And then in the meantime, I called all the other Sudama sisters also to come. And then we all begged together, Swami, please stay on, please stay on. You need. Doctor said, from now on, he needs to be attended to. He needs to be taken care of. Otherwise, he will not be available for long. He gave an ultimatum. And then that is how Bhagavan he came to stay in Sudama. He did not go back.